So, welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. Some people asked me if I'd actually show this, basically an ultrasonic, a cheap ultrasonic parts washer working. If you go to homemade parts cleaner part 1 and 2, I did them some time ago. I think it was when I was doing the SU HD88s for the E-Type behind the camera, and it shows the first bit. But what I'll do is I'll actually do this. I'll take the screws out, put them in. I'll show you them first, and then I'll put them in, and I'll put the clock on my phone so you can see it's in real time, because obviously it would take too long, 30 minutes, but I'll let you see it. But when I initially made this, and all this is just a real cheap vinegar. It's called Essig vinegar here. It's the cheapest stuff you can get, but there's enough in there to do the job. And basically what it's doing is, basically vinegar is an acid, citric acid I think it is, and I think it's more just the movement of the, being aerated that gives it the cleaning effect that it does. Anyway, so this is, as I say, it's a homemade, it's a kind of cheap model. CMI is probably one of the cheaper things you can get, and I got it for a job and it did a good job, but unfortunately the clips that were on it to hold the sandpaper broke off and I couldn't repair it, and I thought, well, it sat around for a while. So what I did was I made this as a quick, I kind of quickly rigged it up to see if it would work a couple of years back. So what I'll do is I'll just take off this piece of metal, because obviously with the metal it's vibrating and makes a bit of noise. So what I'll do is I'll just take this off and show you how I did it. This is a piece of scrap plate I had. So you can see there's the original pad here, and I just made this little piece of metal to go over it, because, as I said, there was no clips. So what I'm going to do now is I actually bought, and as you can see I just bolted it to the, it's a 10mm, so I'll do that 10mm, take that off. And then what I'll do is I bought some Velcro, you can see here, and a metre of that is about €3 or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the Velcro to the pad in strips like that. I'll probably put 3 or 4 strips on it, how many it'll take, probably 4. In fact, I might even make it smaller, because it really should be in the centre, but we'll see. So I'll cut that down, I'll take this plate off, and I'll put Velcro on the top of the plate, and that should be enough, I guess, as long as you don't overload it. What I also tried with this is I have black shot sandblast. It's very fine stuff, this. It's quite expensive, but it's very good. And I've, I don't know, something like 5 pallets with 48 bags on each pallet, so I won't have to last my lifetime, and Mia's and a few others probably. I tried that as well to see if it would work, but I didn't give it very long. So I'm going to try that experiment as well. So we'll do it with the vinegar first. I'll give this a clean out, and then I'll bring you back when I've got this on instead of the plate. I just wanted to show you these parts before I put them into this, put them into the vinegar. You can see how bad they are. I'll try and bring this light forward a bit. That's better. Let's select the light. You can see how corroded those are. These are off the throttles, the screws. I'm going to put these 2 in as well. There's one, this top of this fuel bowl has got paint on it. I'll see if that will come off, but you can basically see how they are. Some of these screws, this is a bolt off the top of the and that's quite in bad condition, you can see. So I'll take all these are all the linkages. This is the fuel, and you can see how rusty that one is. So I'll put all these in, and we'll see it. And there's another one that's really bad. Let's see how bad that one is too. So I'll put all these in, and then I'll time it, and then we'll see how it is. Some of these, you can see, it's quite nice, but this is not as good as the first time I did it. I don't quite understand that. I think is because this vinegar is very old. As I said, it's been sat in the cupboard for the last I don't know, 2.5 years or so, but and maybe it's I don't know, lost its power, because these are nowhere near as good. What I'll do is I'll get another one, a new one, and then try it again. What I can do now is I can clean this out and do the same thing again, and I'll put some sandblasting media, and it's very, very fine stuff that I use for sandblasting. And what that does, as long as it's not too high, it'll vibrate up and down. I did that before and it worked really quite well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry all this stuff up, and then we'll give it a test with the sandblasting material as well, just to vibrate it up and down and see what happens. But to be honest, this hasn't come out anywhere near as good as the first time, and I can only relate that to the amount of time I've had it in the storage. But I mean, it's the cleaner, and the rust has certainly gone, but these things were actually back to absolute bare metal. You can see there it's quite nice, but not so good there. There's a few again, the main screws here for the bottom of the bowl, they're clean, but on the first time I did this, on that video I'm telling you about, the homemade DIY cleaner, they were back to almost like being chromed, not chrome, but highly polished. So that's what I'll do. I'll give this a clean out. So you can hear the difference between the plate and having the Velcro on it. So I've taken the Velcro off, and because when I did the initial test all those years ago, that's how it was. Basically, I just made a metal plate. You can see it's fractured there over a period of time. I'll have to make a new one. And what it's doing obviously is that the vibration is much greater, because there's a rubber pad on the bottom of these for obvious reasons when you're sanding, and you put the Velcro on it. I think it's taking the vibration out of it, or the aggressiveness of the vibration. So the metal seems to be work much better, which is the way it was in the first place. So I'll give it a shot now, have a quick look. Obviously, excuse me, you can see by the colour. Obviously better to do this. This was 15 minutes. Yeah, and the difference in the action, and I think that's exactly where the problem is it's the action, the amount of vibration, the amount of action you're getting within with the sander. And obviously what happens with the Velcro is that it cushions the blow, or cushions the, puts too much, that seems to be it. Yeah, I mean the difference now is completely different. I'll keep my glasses on. The difference in the spring, the quality, it's actually starting to take that paint off a little bit too. But yeah, definitely all the screws, the heads, much better. So I think you could probably use Velcro to put the cap, maybe onto the metal instead of the nut and bolt. I'm not sure. In fact, when I saw it on the internet, that's how it was. This cap, or the jar that he had, was velcroed onto the bottom of the sander. But because there's this big heavy rubber strip, I think it's taken a lot of the vibration out, or the agitation if you like. But it does work. You can see quite clearly how clean that is now. Yeah, it's certainly this is definitely the better way to do it than the way with the Velcro on it. I thought I'd try the Velcro, just try it out. But like I say, here you can see this is not a perfect fit. I would make one now that fits perfectly to it. But maybe that's even helping with the agitation, I don't know. But you can see there's a slight fracture there. But it does work. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. So what I'll do now is I'll pick the camera up and see where we are from there. But it's definitely got all the rust out, that's for sure. Well, the majority of the rust. So, and that's 15 minutes, so 30 minutes, you know, it's going to get better. But definitely what you need to do now is to put them in water with some baking soda and neutralise them, otherwise they're going to go rusty very quickly. So what I'll do is I'll just take all these little washers out. That seems to be it. That seems to be all of it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop this video up and show it to you. So what I'll do now is I'll clean this out, put some hot water in it, put some baking soda in it to neutralise this, give them a good shake and then dry them off. You could even, if they're very small parts, you could even use a heat gun. I've got a heat gun here, I can use a heat gun to dry them. If you leave them with the vinegar on them, they will rust within 20 minutes, half an hour or an hour. You can see the rust building on them, the rust forming, very light layer, but you can see it straight away. So you do need to neutralise it straight away. So, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and I'll show these once they've been neutralised in another video. And so try it for yourself. If you think it's not very good, then you know. But it's easy enough to do. You don't have to damage anything to make it work. And see for yourself. See what you think. But for little parts like this, it works. So bye for now.